And we are live. Hello, Rachel.
Yay! Just like the birds outside my window, there's a big window in my office, and there's big trees, and there's lots of birds flying around there. It's so beautiful. Good morning. Good morning, nearly afternoon. Good morning, good afternoon in Turkey.
Good morning. And what we are talking about today.
So, what we are talking about today is X-Men and capacities. And so often, a lot of us, including me and you, have a different way of functioning, and we have been exposed to so much judgment. It starts in school. We've been exposed to so much judgment in the way that we function that we completely hide these capacities and we make them disabilities. And so this conversation today is about what is going on in the world right now bombarding you, and we're going to have a conversation on anxiety, doubt, and loss. We'll start with anxiety and we'll see where we get to. Mm. So
Mm,
just a little, yeah, you go.
yeah, like when you just say like anxiety, I just remembered like before I actually had the tools in my life, the access consciousness tools, and I was in the medical school, and actually I had a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, like until it just came to a point that I would actually get locked and I couldn't like choose anything. Like I couldn't even like learn anything. Like I was gonna say like I was just like so stressed and I was just like so focused on the result that I was gonna get that it just I couldn't even like do anything. It was just like in that point, and I'm actually so grateful for Access Bars to actually allow me to go beyond that anxiety and stress that I bought that was me because I can perceive it so dynamically. Mm.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you know this, but I used to have these PTSD seizures, and because I had locked so much stress and anxiety into my body that my body just wasn't working. And so if you had told me, I remember, I'm going to say feeling, which is lethal for this conversation about X-Men, which is an extreme humanoid capacity to pick up on other people's thoughts, feelings, emotions, and realities. And so I would have said that I had this extreme feeling of anxiety as even a little, like as far back as I can remember. And so now look at access consciousness and the X-Men tools. It says as an X-Men, you have no feelings, you only have senses, and you sense these energies in the world, and you have an ability to increase everything that's going on around you. Okay. So if you look at this, when I came to access, these capacities were a disability because I was in anxiety, I was in depression, and none of that is light. Like when I talk about that, none of that is light. And so for me, I didn't have the tool of you are so much space. So number one, we would love to give you some tools to work with from this Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Number one, just relax. Like take a breath into your body and relax and acknowledge your body. And so
Mm.
from this space, like the moment that I relax out, there's a bit of a feedback from the audio. What else is possible here beyond anything we've ever known? That's an access consciousness question. So just while I walk through this, number one, relaxation is a super powerful tool for anyone who is extremely aware of other people's thoughts, feelings, empaths, we call it, emotions and realities. And just relax is just connecting in with your body, connecting in with the earth, and then expanding out. So, number two is expand out, you know? And from this place, I wasn't given these tools as a little girl. And then you ask, is this energy mine? And the moment that I expand out and I connect in with the earth, because this earth, our earth has a policy of oneness. Everything is, there is no emotions, there is no feelings, there's only space. And the moment I connect to that, it gives me a different possibility. And so the who does it belong to tool, and Troy will talk about this now as well, is I didn't have that. For me, it's a game changer in your functionality. Who does this belong to? Return to sender with consciousness attached. And this is where these two questions changed my whole life. What am I perceiving? Oh, I'm perceiving other people's anxiety, loss, doubt. And what am I having? Am I actually having this? Ooh, how come when I connect to the bird, I haven't got that? So if I haven't got it all the time, then it's not me. And I didn't know
Yeah.
this, Troy. I genuinely was never asked what was true for me as a being, and I wasn't gifted exercises to connect me to the earth, so my body is submerged in that calm energy.
Yeah. And I get like that's one of the things like really changed my whole life. Like even like yesterday, I was just I went for a walk, and when I was walking, I could actually like feel a wave. Like I perceived a wave of sadness and depression and like everybody going like, ugh. And if what was before, like I would just go like, oh, like I'm feeling like depressed. I'm feeling so sad. Like how I'm gonna get out of this? Like what's going on? And I would just like go crazy. And like yesterday, when I just perceived that, I was like, I just like, okay, I take one step back. Like I actually didn't have this thought, feelings, and emotions a couple of minutes ago. Okay, so is that really me, or am I perceiving this? And I was like, oh, actually, I do perceive all of these thought, feelings, and emotions from all the people around me. Like now it's like Saturday, like what's going on, like what people are choosing, and how much actually I am aware of this. And like when I even take that one step back before like
Mm,
diving in, it just bring me a space of, oh, okay,
yeah.
so I perceive this and what choices are available for me. And I'll
Yes.
just keep walking, just keep moving, and I just like choose to like just go to a place like near to the like trees and have some quiet, and I just actually sit down and I was just like touching the trees. And when I was willing to not go into that and just by that was me, I start to relax. I could perceive my body
Mm.
was starting to relax, and actually more choices started to become available.
Thanks so much for this. You know, I genuinely bought that all of that insanity, that judgment. So we live in a world where people mainly choose judgment as a reality. And I am one of the people who came here to transform that, but I didn't have that information. But I do want to tell a story because it's a great explanation of where you're someone who have massive capacities to be aware of information, and then by someone's point of view you give up that capacity. So when I was about 6 years of age, the teacher wrote a math equation on the board, and I had the answer immediately. I have no idea how I got the answer, how figuring it out. I just had the answer. And the teacher walked by me and she's like, "Where did you get that answer?" And I was like, "So where did I get it from?" Like at that time, I didn't recognize that as an X-Men, I have the capacity to have all information in the universe, that we're connected to every molecule, you know? And so I didn't have the tool that what am I perceiving? And so the teacher had this energy of, "You're wrong because you didn't show me the figuring out, show me how you got the figure," she said to me. And so that put me out of my capacities to be unique and have a different functionality. And then I bought, what's wrong with me? The teacher is angry. And then that puts me into fear because now I'm wrong. And in that moment, I gave up my capacities of what I could perceive. And I shifted over to all the emotions and the anger and the compression that the teacher had, these AIs, was actually me. And then that's what I felt like. And so this is one of the things that I adore about the X-Men tools is the perceiving versus having tool. And so before that, I wasn't stressed, I wasn't anxiety. And then now, because I decided that energy is me, I'll pull more of that energy into my world because we're energetic beings. And if we decide that we're an energy, we'll pull more of that energy into our world. So I ended up having massive problems, which is unconsciousness around anxiety and loss and doubt. And I am so grateful that I can educate people, talk to people, empower them to know that anxiety is changeable. I truly decided that this is unchangeable, Troy. It is changeable, and I haven't had a PTSD seizure since 2012. And I can still get a little bit stressed, but I can catch it now. I haven't like suffered from anxiety for like years, And what's true is when you're connected to consciousness and the universe, there is no anxiety when you know that there's a whole world of molecules having your back and supporting you.
Yeah, yeah. I love like what you said, especially the story, because like you actually knew the answers, but then like everybody just jumped in, like going like, "Oh, prove me how you know this," or show me like, "Oh, that's not true." Like I remember I had one of the conversation about with one of the person, and I was just talking about like what I was aware of, and the person told me, "Oh, like that's not true, like you're just making this up." And then like it just put me into self-doubt about everything that I knew, everything that actually was working for me. And then like how much of you, like everybody that's listening out there, like using doubt or choosing doubt, and is that actually working for you? Because one of the things like I know, when I doubt myself, like it just keeps slowing me down into a point that I am not able to create the way I am able to create. And like I get like there's like so many things that we can explore about this topic. Like Rachel's actually going to facilitate a two-part teleseries on December 26, 27. It's called Access X-Men. Doubt, loss, anxiety is what's going on in the world, is bombarding you right now, which I get. I'm just like if you don't have the information about Access X-Men, like it can change so much with so
Mm,
quickly. And I get like that's one of the things I really love, because as you said, like if you have the point of view, like when you have that point of view, like, oh, I'm stressed, like how much you are actually pulling everybody around you that was stressed, that had
yeah,
stress, and it just gets like heavier and heavier and heavier, which was in my situation. And I didn't have the education that actually when I buy a point of view that's me, then I'm actually pulling that from everybody around me
yeah,
even
yeah,
more
yeah,
dynamically.
yeah.
And like I actually had to educate myself and like dynamically choose it present, like be actually very present,
Mm,
and look at
mm.
like what I am pulling in this 10 seconds into my life, and is this really something that I would like to have, or do I desire something different?
Thank you so much. People are loving the
Mhm.
stories. Thank you so much for listening, folks. I do want to say this. The one thing that I wasn't educated on is as an X-Men, humanoid, energetic being having an experience, I wasn't given the tool that I have a capacity to increase everything that's going on. So if I choose anxiety, I increase anxiety. If I choose ease, I increase ease. So therefore, now I'm educated to know where am I putting my energy.
Yeah.
But remember, as a kid, I would know things, and my mother would say, my mother would she couldn't deal with what I knew. It wasn't right, it wasn't wrong, it wasn't good, it wasn't bad. I grew up with a lot of secrets and a lot of hidden stuff. And so when I would say things, my mother would be like, "How did you know that? You can't know that." And she's not right or she's not wrong. It was just, you weren't allowed to have awareness. And so when you grow up in an environment where you're not allowed to know what you know and have the awareness that you're aware of, then what occurs is you get very twisted and kinked, turn like a kink in your hair twirled in regard to the places that you are aware, and you attach so much of other people's thoughts, feelings, emotions, realities, stresses, doubt, anxiety, loss. And for me, it's, I would say I am still on a journey of discovering that what is actually true for me. But one thing I do know is when I'm being me, my living is peaceful. And if you'd have told me that all the stuff that I was aware of was outside of me, not inside of me, I wouldn't have believed it until I got to that myself.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, and exactly. And like one of the things is just so beautiful and like funny to me at the same time. Like I would just like watch like X-Men just like be depressed in like 1 10 seconds, and when they actually change their point of view, they would just like start like laughing and joyful and dancing, and then like they would just like cry again. It's just like we're so extreme.
Oh my
So
God, can I tell you
yeah.
this? So I watched Ted Lasso. I know you love the series as well. And it
Mm,
was Christmas Day, and he's divorced in his first year on his own. And so his son is in America, and he's like sitting with a bottle of Scotch whiskey. And he's drinking. And then a friend knocks at the door, and she's like, "Come on, let's play." And like 5 minutes later, they're jumping around and they're playing, and that night they're singing and delivering parcels. And I have to be honest, we are so extreme, and I'm okay with that now myself, because I know that my point of view creates my reality. If I choose like a fixed point of view, I'm on my own, or sit and drink whiskey, my whole life is shit. Whereas if
mm,
I'm choosing the energies of ease and joy and glory and peace, oh my goodness me, it's just mind blowing to be able to transform the way that your life shows up when you know that your point of view creates your reality.
mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I love someone said, then we get diagnosed with bipolar, two realities, two judgments. I can be like a billion polar, or I can live out of judgment and actually just have gratitude for the difference of me. Yeah.
Mm,
So whether you're watching this live now or in the future, our aim is to contribute you knowing that you have these capacities, you have these abilities, and you probably gave them up because somebody else didn't receive them. And what if now is the time to know that you did come here to experience a greater peace and a greater world? And that's really what this, honestly, I genuinely, I'm still amazed that the anxiety and the doubt and the loss that I thought was me, I thought it felt like me. It's not me. That's not what I am. And so I would love to invite everyone as we try to the possibility that you are beyond anxiety, doubt, and loss.
mm. Yeah, beautiful. And if you're looking to explore more of this topic, we invite you to the two-part teleseries that Rachel is going to facilitate on December 26 and 27. We will be popping the links in the comments for you to find more
Mm.
information with ease. And thanks so much for everybody watching.
Yeah. And just one final thing I just want to add, if you have family members, if you have sons, daughters, mothers, fathers, aunts, work colleagues that, experience anxiety, loss, doubt, you will also receive tools that will allow you to not be impacted by their anxiety and doubt, to transform and have it to be able to offer a different space with all of these. Yeah. Cool. Thanks,
Wonderful.
everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks,
Thanks so much,
Troy.
Rachel. Bye, everyone.